that part. You're
We're
right.
up. We're
I'm loving
live.
it.
But that was
We're live, bro. I
definitely
can't
the
remember what we're
Mando.
humming. Mando or McDonald's, okay?
No, I thought it was the Mando theme, but you know, I don't know. Okay, we're live though. Hi everybody.
Hi, friends.
Hello
Yo.
friends.
Hello there.
Can I hear
General
myself?
Kenobi.
We stopped
Yes.
introducing ourselves at one point, didn't we?
We
Everyone knows who
did.
the fuck we
Yeah.
are at this
We
point.
should probably do that.
We still can. We still can. I'm.
No, we don't have a Spotify anymore. So.
We don't? What happened? Ah.
Well, we do, but I stopped paying because we weren't podcasting, so I stopped paying for our uploads.
Yeah.
Fair.
One day we can get back to it when we're consistent.
Join us on YouTube.
Yeah, no, YouTube's the better place for
You
it.
can
Where
see
can
our
cool
pretty
people are.
faces.
I mean,
Everyone knows that.
half the battle is seeing how incredulous I look about things sometimes. So
It's
know.
a battle to see you?
I mean, no, I mean that's when the
Half the fun.
that's really what I meant. All right, listen,
Hi, Jose.
Mando's fucking back. Mando is back. Oh, hey, Jose, why
Shit.
can't I see anything? This is crazy. No. Oh, there.
Nerds.
So, I mean,
Nerds. There it is. There it goes.
Mando back? I mean, I guess Mando's back.
What?
Hey now.
What? I mean, listen, I know it was 35 minutes. Okay.
It was a trailer. We watched a long-ass trailer.
We learned some things. All right, but before we talk Mando, because I think we could fill most of the episode with that, we should run through a couple other things first. Because
I like
We're
that
spent-
plan.
We're
yeah,
going to spend longer talking about Mando than we spent watching it this week.
that it's true. It's true. We will fucking
You could say that about most of
Yeah.
the show, to be fair.
yeah.
I'm just going back to the realization that normal people just watch media and move on.
No, I still don't believe that. I can't. I can't accept that. All right, let's do the quickest shit first, which is I think Celebration is the beginning of next month, or almost. Yes, Easter weekend in April in Europe. So clearly none of us are going to be there. And if you want to watch the fucking live streams, which won't be of the main panels we actually want to see, you'll have to be
We
up
don't
at 6 in the
know
morning.
that, but that's our guess.
Yeah, there's no way.
So we
they're gonna
found out
fucking...
we found out today they are gonna have streams of the panels, but I'm guessing like Celebrate. So they've kind of like step by step dropped this off. Like for Celebration Chicago, they had full streams of the panels, and then they just cut out when they showed new trailers. For Anaheim, they didn't stream the two biggest panels at Anaheim at all. They just streamed like all kind of like the side stuff, or like
Yep.
Clone Wars Remembered, Rebels, like stuff like that, which is still cool.
I was
like
so fucking
we
mad.
want to watch that too, but we also would like to watch the
Yeah.
the new stuff. So we know now today they said they are going to have streams, but my guess is it'll be similar to Anaheim where they don't show the big two, which sucks. But
And we'll have
Sell a
to.
virtual ticket.
I know.
Yeah.
They could. I said I'd pay fucking $20 to fucking watch it. Shit. Hell, I'd probably pay $40.
If
Because
it
I'm
didn't
that
cut out, I would
sucker.
pay more than that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because if
but
I
we all
didn't.
know. Sorry, go.
No, I was gonna say if I don't have to scour the internet for bootlegs for the next week, that's worth $40 to me. You know.
especially if you can watch it on demand, like at your own time, at your own pace.
Exactly. It'd be fucking great. But
The issue here is we all know Lucasfilm doesn't actually know how to make an event out of something.
no, they don't want to market. They don't want to make money off of anything but toys, apparently. Merchandising. But
I mean, it's Star Wars.
yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There are going to be panels. I think they announced on Ahsoka, Bad Batch. Did they announce a Mando panel?
No, it's the opening panel. It's like live action Star Wars, basically, is what they're calling
But
it. So
Ahsoka gets her own panel.
that's I would
new,
assume that's because like that's gonna be the thing that's coming
That's
right
gonna be the
then.
next thing coming out.
But
and-
Skeleton-
Yeah, so
But
Well,
what
we
about
can't market
Skeleton
more than
Crew?
they'll
think it
probably
would.
show you like a tidbit of Ahsoka at the big thing, and then they'll do like a longer one at the full panel with Dave and John.
Yeah.
They're
that's
gonna introduce
possible.
new directors and probably some cast for movies and shows at the big panel.
And it seems confirmed-ish that Rogue Squadron's definitely shelved. That's the Patty Jenkins movie.
I'm
And
shocked.
you know. And so is Kevin Feige's movie, and I think, is it because Marvel's a fucking mess and they gotta get on that shit? I don't know. But, I mean, to be fair, Lucasfilm just hasn't wanted to touch Star Wars movies and release them in who knows how long. So maybe they're just slow in the roll. I don't fucking know.
I think everyone over there has PTSD from the sequels at this point, and they just don't want to risk it.
They should.
They're going to have to. I'm pretty sure they have a 2025 mandate from Iger.
Look, if it means they take their time and have like an actual full plot for everything,
that'd be awesome, right? So good.
Don't just treat it like a freaking high school theater production. Like, yeah, just do what you're gonna do. You're the director. It's fine. No one cares.
It's been 3.5 years since we did a Star Wars movie, and by the time this first one that is supposedly coming is going to come out, it will have been 6 years.
I
right?
missed
2025. December 2025 is the date for the next Star Wars movie.
I mean,
I miss doing movie theater troops so much. Like I'm excited.
I do miss movies, and I like movies, but I'm just at least happy we're getting shows, which is a lot of content. So
it is, and it did well, especially I think for like, you know, these pandemic years, these trying times, unprecedented times.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely went to shows on the streaming sites at just the right time. That happened nicely for them.
I know. I mean, I feel like us going to the Mando premiere was like one of the last things I got to do before shit hit the fan.
You heard it here first. Disney engineered the pandemic to make streaming successful.
Woo! On that note,
and so they can do a bunch of refurbishments in the park. There we go.
Don't sue us, Disney. Next segment.
I think Steve saw some Andor news.
What?
Oh yeah, there's going to be a second season and only a second season of Andor.
We knew this.
So we knew that.
We've been
clearly that came out today due to a Nerdist article, I believe. No one could have possibly known this before.
Was this the article that you saw because I commented we already knew this shit, and then it popped up on your timeline?
They like announced that when they announced the show.
I saw the headline. I'm like, yes.
Okay. Breaking news. Shit we already knew from 3 fucking years ago.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were going to get this. My bad.
All right. On other news, let's talk Bad Batch real fast, because I just want to say RAD Batch and Mando both had episodes last week on Wednesday, right? So I fucking woke up, immediately went and watched the premiere of Mando, because I was like, yes, it's Mando, right? Bad Batch was a complete afterthought for me. And then in the middle of the day, I was like, oh shit, wait, there's Bad Batch, and I watched it. Holy shit, man!
Pretty good.
Woo! I was so happy. The quick cliff notes of that shit is there's a fucking ship. It's like alien up in there, horror fucking entry. There's a Republic commando fucking running through the ship, being chased by something in the fucking dark, and all of a sudden he just gets yanked away, and he's like, ah! And of course, the Bad Batch are sent to go, like, basically get the cargo from the derelict ship that was reported. So they fucking go, and they're like, oh my god, where is everybody? Everybody's fucking dead, whatever. And sure enough, there's a fucking monster in the ship that got escaped, right? And I first saw that thing, and I'm like, that looks familiar to me. And then, like, I'm like, but it's small. And I'm like, maybe. And then we keep watching it, and then sure enough, I'm like, that's a fucking Zillow beast. And we're finally getting the payoff from that shit from how many fucking years ago? Holy shit.
13 years.
Holy shit. Holy shit. We knew they were that Palps wanted to clone the Zillow beast after they killed it in Clone Wars 14 fucking years ago. And we finally got to see that shit. And then, at the end of it, we got a fucking Delta Squad.
Scorch.
It better not be a fucking cameo. Like, I have to assume, like, it's going to be bigger than that.
I don't think it is. I mean, they sent So it's Scorch confirmed finally. Like we knew it was Scorch last season because of the color configuration, but they confirmed it with I think his name is in maybe in the subtitles, and then in the credits, and then they release a poster. So it's Scorch, and basically he's been tasked to go hunt down the crew that was there, trying to fight / kill the Zillow Beast, which is obviously the Bad Batch. So, in theory, this week you're gonna get Scourge possibly hunting down the Bad Batch. Maybe running into Crosshair along the way. I don't know. Maybe we'll see them, which would really be a payoff from 12, 13 years ago when they just sort of teased them at the end of that Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, I want the whole fucking squad. I want them all.
Same.
Except Seb, obviously.
Well. But what happened to him is it canon.
It would be funny if they just brought Seb back and didn't say anything about it.
I was gonna say, it's not fucking canon.
People have been screaming like, "What happened to Seb all these years?" And then they just bring him back and don't say anything. That would be
just another
word. Wait, didn't he get lost? Was it in Kashyyyk?
It's Kashyyyk.
I mean, maybe Gunji finds him. They dropped him off, you know.
There you go.
So
You froze there for a second.
I know.
It was a hilarious face.
Oh my god, my hair's all fucked up. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave this alone. There's my crown. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's actually gonna fucking happen. But I really want them to bring the whole crew back.
Yeah.
So one way or the other.
Would be nice.
Yep. All right. So we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen this week, but we'll find out tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Yay! All right. Is that everything?
It's annoying to me. No, before we go on, it's annoying to me that they're going to finally ramp up this season of Bad Batch, which has been pretty mediocre now that Mando is going on. Like Bad Batch is about to get really good, and like not that like nobody gives a shit because like obviously we like it, we watch it, a lot of our friends do, but just like so many people are not going to watch Bad Batch while Mando is going on, and maybe won't catch it later, like just forget about it, which kind of sucks. But it's annoying to me that it's about to get really good when Mando's on at the same time.
I
don't know why they didn't release it 2 months earlier and knock it out, but whatever.
The only thing I could think of is that it maybe all ties in, and they wanted certain things to air at certain points in time. They don't want reveals happening. I mean, that's the only logical fucking explanation for this shit. I don't know. I'm with you though. I heard, without spoilers, because I've been trying to avoid those for once, that this next episode coming tomorrow is like the best of the season. We'll see. We'll see. I'll fucking watch it at some point.
Crosshair kills Scorch. Oh no. I shouldn't have put that in the universe. I'm sorry, Greg.
Please no. Please no. We just got him back, Joe.
Yeah, we just got him back. Don't take him away.
All right. Mando, you should do the recap, Joe. It's on you.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I did this.
It's been a while.
All right.
Try to hit all the plot points. Know. There were a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go bang, bang, bang like they did in the episode. So,
I'll say,
all right.
You know the title. You remember the title?
The Apostate, which is a dumbass fucking word. It annoys me. Anyways. I don't like it for this scenario. It's culty, which isn't a cult. So I guess
I have a theory on that. But we'll talk about it later.
Chapter 17, The Apostate. So yeah. Oh man, I really haven't done this in a while. They open on a bunch of Mandalorians doing a ceremony for a young Mandalorian who's joining their cult. With his little helmet and his little repeating after me, and then they get attacked by a giant space alligator because clearly they have made their home on Cave Space, Florida. They get their ass kicked pretty well. I mean, they're doing the right things, but they're still getting their ass kicked. Like, they jet back on top of him, they grab charge him, and the other ones are just kind of shooting, even though they know they're not doing anything. I don't know what's happening there. But they kind of get their ass kicked until Din shows up in the N1 and blast that thing, which God, that N1 starfighter, it's so cool. It's so cool.
Beautiful.
And clearly Armor is pissed because even though they were getting their ass kicked, she's mad that she got her ass saved by the Apostate, by the no longer Mandalorian, according to her, Din Djarin. So then we get a recap of pretty much the exact same scene from Book of Boba Fett where she tells him he's no longer a Mandalorian, blah, blah, blah. Then Din throws her like the piece of glass, I guess you would say, when the Empire glass Mandalore, it's like a piece of Mando script with glass all over it, and says someone, like a trader, brought this to the Jawas. I got it from them. Clearly, they've been to the surface of Mandalore. I'm going back to do the thing, bathe in the waters, blah blah blah, culty shit. And she's pissed. Like, you can tell. She, like, doesn't want it. She's like, you can't do it. It's gone. And he's like, no, I think I can do it. And she's like, all right, whatever, fine. And, like, you can clearly tell she's annoyed by him thinking he can still do this. Like, I don't know if she's threatened by him. She doesn't want him to figure out he can. I don't know. But she's just annoyed. She's clearly threatened. She sucks. She's rook cast. But then we jump to like Navarro. Thank you. I never remember the name of this planet. Navarro to see Grief Karga. He goes to see Grief about reactivating IG-11. The most important part of the episode happens, and that's that Grief Karga has droids that carry his cape. Lando Calrissian is extremely fucking jealous of this shit. But he goes to see Grief about reactivating IG-11. Before that, I guess that's like after the pirates that he confirms that's why he's there. Right? Yes? Or the pirates after that? What order does that happen in?
I don't know.
I watched this like 4 times.
I think.
Anyways,
it's the pirates first.
Pirates first?
Yeah.
Yes, because then he tells him he needs a marshal after the pirates. You're right. Pirates. So there's pirates on Navarro that are trying to go drink at a bar, which is now a school. They clearly can't understand that because they're pirates. And anyways, they all look fantastic, especially the leader, whose name is Vane. And
named after a historical pirate. Sorry.
Named after, go ahead.
A historical pirate. Charles Vane.
Know that.
Charles Vane was a real historical pirate.
Real asshole in the Assassin's Creed game too.
Oh yeah.
Damn,
that's true.
I should have known that. I love that game. Yeah. So he has like a little showdown with Grief. Grief shoots his blaster out of his hand. The other pirates decide they're gonna all turn around and shoot at him. Din and Grief together kill the other 4 pirates. Let Vane escape because that's a smart thing to do. Just let him escape. Then he asked Din to be his marshal. They quickly explain that Cara Dune has been recruited by Special Forces, and now we never have to hear about her ass ever again.
Recast her.
Please recast her. Take the character back. So then he asked Din to be his marshal. Din says, no, I'm here for other stuff. Basically, I need a droid to help me map Mandalore. I want IG-11. He's the only droid I trust, because even though we've seen him work with a bunch of droids now, apparently IG-11 is the only one he trusts still. So they try to reactivate the half-statue version of IG-11, and it goes very poorly. It's exactly a scene from Terminator. Even the line that Din says afterwards is a line from Terminator. It's very creepy. And it doesn't work. And then he still decides he still has to get IG-11 back, even after this terrifying Terminator scenario. So they take him to, or Grief takes them to see the Anzellans, who are mechanics, droid smiths, all those good things. We know the Anzellans because Babu Frick from Rise of Skywalker is an Anzellan, and he was the highlight of Rise of Skywalker, to be honest.
That's right.
And well, Ben Solo was pretty cool at the end, but
yeah.
Ben Solo or Babu Frick? Don't make me choose.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, Babu Frick had more screen time than Ben Solo.
That's true.
Anyways, I love that, like, thinking about it, like, the Anzellans, like, home was, like, in this little thing on the ground, and Din had to, like, crawl in there. Had to have crawled in there with Grogu. And so, yeah, so basically the Anzellans like, we can't do it. We don't have the part. And then Din's like, oh, I'll find the part easy. Like, that could be my quest for next week, my side quest. And then Grogu hugs the Anzellan. Din has to yell at him. It's adorable.
Bad baby.
Grogu feels about the Anzellans like we feel about Grogu. We just want to, like, squeeze him, you know? Yeah, so that was cute. And then finally, Din goes to see Bo-Katan on Kalevala, and to her, I'm guessing what is Castle Kryze, because Satine was from there too. So I'm guessing it's their ancestral home. It's another planet in the Mandalore system. So he goes there. There's a really cool droid out front, but he has a chest diamond, which is kind of weird. And then
that's how you know
it's
he's
just
Mandalorian.
there all by herself, and basically she tells Din that he goes there to say he's gonna join her because I don't know. He told the armor he was going back to Mandalore, and then he tells Bo-Katan he's gonna join her, and she's like, "There's nothing to join. Everybody left me because I don't have the Darksaber, and you do." And so she basically tells him to leave, and he says he's gonna go bathe in the waters, and she basically says, "Good luck, like see you later, Din Djarin." Like she basically thinks he's gonna die.
Yep.
You know. So she looked great on that throne, though. Great, fantastic,
wonderful.
And
no notes.
Yeah, no notes. That's about it. That's where the episode ends. And clearly, like the way she said it, she thought he has no chance of surviving, which for her would be good news because then she could get the Darksaber. But it certainly seemed to me like she's planning on following him there, if that's where he's immediately going to. But I guess we'll find that out. But that was season 1. It was bang, bang, bang from place to place to place. It was basically a recap for the people who didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett episodes, which, why the fuck are we doing that? I don't care what the casuals think. Exactly. Make them watch it. Like you could have caught him up on that in the 35-second.
They did. A lot of that information was there.
I was fine with the Mando scene. Like obviously that was really cool seeing all those Mandos fight. Like
it was cool world building.
Yes, and it just built on how culty they are. It was really cool to see all the flags, the house flags. There's a whole bunch of them in there. Vizsla, which the Vizsla one is weird. It has like the little F that Boba Fett has on his crest too.
The Vizsla one had that?
Yeah.
On it?
Yep.
Oh, that's weird.
What were the other ones, Stacy?
I thought I saw House Rook.
Yes.
I thought I did, but it's very far back.
Eldar one.
Eldar. Yep.
There is definitely an Eldar cauldron somewhere.
Yes.
We saw a Death
Watch
and
there's a flag too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of Death Watch shoulder plates. One of the flags looks like it has that Crusaders kind of like weird leaf thing that goes around in a circle. But
you
only see like a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see the flags. I will say, like, I know for a fact because of some people who have worked on the show that basically they just made a crap ton of armor, and then all those backup people just came in and grabbed whatever. So that's why a lot of them are like 8 colors or like don't look the greatest because there wasn't a whole lot of planning into those background Mandos other than like the people who made them very nicely, but it was sort of like a grab bag of come get what you can and put it on your costume, your character. But some of them, there were 3 or 4 that were really good looking, like cool, very cool. And the action was good, the shooting was good. I like that a lot.
The space croc was really cool.
Yeah, and in the artwork, like the that they always put at the end of the episode, like
it's like a bird thing.
Well, it looks like a snapping turtle.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Yep, it has like a beak, so yeah.
Like a giant snapping turtle. And then it kind of still had that shell. It was like a croc turtle thing.
You're right. Yours is
it
more
reminded
more
me
accurate.
of a D&D dragon turtle in a lot of ways.
It did. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, like I thought their fight against it was cool, except for why would they try to fucking like lasso themselves to it with their like that was the stupidest thing they did.
We're gonna pull it down. I don't know what they were thinking there. Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever watched The Crocodile Hunter, you know that's not how you fucking rope one of those things. You can't
maybe they were. Well, they clearly have not watched The Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah.
They were not prepared for Space Gator.
No.
Maybe they were thinking those things would get between the plates. I don't know.
But
it wasn't the best fight.
No.
It was the best part of the episode.
I mean, it wasn't that it was bad visually. Like it was good to watch. It was just some of those Mandos weren't making very smart choices.
Yeah.
So from there we go to Navarro, right?
Navarro looked great.
Navarro looked super cool. Navarro has had quite the glow up.
Which also just kind of points out how much time has passed between seasons. Even though they haven't explicit. John Favreau has tried to explain himself like 1,000 times on how much time has passed.
0 to 2 years at this point, it says. Somewhere in there.
It's clearly been a while. So it's at least a year since we last saw Navarro. So, yeah. Glow up indeed. With free-ranging monkey lizards.
God.
I missed that.
They were in the tree.
Oh, they were
just
like a
chilling.
bunch of them in that tree.
Oh,
yeah.
I loved it. It was so funny. Real quick, the kids' helmets were a little distracting because they literally did use the visors from the kids' toys.
Yeah, it looks like those shitty Hasbro helmets.
I mean, we might grow to love it. We might grow
I
to
have
appreciate
seen
it.
at least 10 people who have already modeled them this week, and I'm like, why? Why would you do this?
Take
they
the
suck.
toy. You could just take the toy.
I guess the answer is money because those people want to sell the files, but man, they suck.
To be fair, like for a little kid, it might be easier for them to see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's totally like justifiable. Like it gives the kid more vision. It's why the Hasbro helmet looks like that. It's so kids can see better. Like that's absolutely the reason. It just still sucks for people
suffer,
like us.
But should we make our kids suffer?
I think it should look like that.
I know, but I thought it was cute. Where they picked up all these fucking kids from all of a sudden, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Another showing of the passage of time because Din was just told by Paz during the Book of Boba Fett episode that it was just them left. So they've clearly been recruiting.
Someone brought up the concept of that kid being Paz's son.
Yes, that's the rumor. His name is Ragnar, by the way. The kid
Ragnar.
Yeah. Which is a great Viking.
Don't like that name.
Because the paint scheme looks just like Paz's helmet.
Well, and Paz like shoves him to the ground too to protect him one time. I feel like I hadn't thought of this until I saw the rumor about it online this week going around, and then when I watched the episode back, I was like, oh, there is some foreshadowing here. They pan back to Paz twice during his little reading thing, and I'm like, oh.
It also could be though because he's the most recognizable of the troop besides Armorer.
True.
Also, the kid didn't get to take the vow that said he wasn't going to take his helmet off. He got interrupted by Space Gator before that. So.
Jose pointed out it makes a sound as he puts it on, and you can still see his hair hanging out the bottom. It's very clearly not sealed.
So
I think it is more to do with
I think it's
functions.
a compression thing, almost like an airbag, because Din's and Boba Fett's is the exact same sound, and we know Boba's is open-ish. It's for TV effect.
Yeah.
It's the electronics. It's the HUD turning on.
Yeah.
I like to think that they have way better padding than us, and it's just this padding inflating, so this helmet stays on it.
It's fans,
instead of
so they're not hot as shit in there.
Just the fans turning on.
Look,
why
we all
wouldn't
know
it be?
This is a South Florida podcast. We all know fans just makes the hot air blow in your face. That's all it does.
That's true. I don't put
unless you're at a convention, fans are not worth anything.
There are no fans in my helmet. None.
But how do you fit fans in your helmet?
I couldn't. I couldn't if I wanted
heads. To. That's the key.
Yeah. Also, yeah. So I also have a theory about what's gonna happen with IG-11. So the part that they're missing is the memory core, I guess, right? And they don't make these parts anymore. And I'm like, that's true, but there is another famous IG unit out there somewhere.
I had that thought.
He's gonna fucking hunt down IG-88 and take his parts because IG-88 is not a good guy.
That's what I want Boba Fett to come back for. If we're gonna go that route, then let's have Din and Boba do that.
So, IG was in the comics though.
Maybe that's why he goes to Tatooine to ask Boba, hey, I need some intel on this droid unit. Because we know he's going to Tatooine. We've seen it in the trailers.
Do we know that Boba has time for that? Has he gotten to his meeting with the mayor yet?
We're going to make this joke on the pod.
I mean, at this point, he is the mayor, isn't he?
I'm going to start a Twitter account that has Boba Fett seen the mayor. Yeah, and then every day I'm going to post no.
No.
Until it's confirmed otherwise.
Until it's fucking done. Yeah. No, it's true. That could be why he gets in. Boba's coming. He's going to be there, so we'll see. So I don't know if that's going to be next episode, though. Is he going to go right to Mandalore?
There is a lot in these trailers that we've seen, and I don't know the order of any of this stuff and how it's going to happen, but there's a lot of stuff.
Hey, I hope we're going to Mandalore from here, because that would make the most sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We usually get, 8 episodes?
Yeah. And that's what we're getting this time.
No, 10. I thought
8.
We're getting 8.
Yeah.
And then 35 minutes.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. We're getting a total of maybe 4 hours of content.
It usually comes out to like 5.5 hours, I think. But this is episode 17, so we've had 2 seasons. There were 8 episodes each, right? And
you're right.
Yeah.
They could decide
the next
to
one's
just
supposed
give us,
to be longer.
They could give us 14 and take
ones.
us up to 30.
That'd be good.
I don't know. I think Mandalore is the last part of the season. I don't think they're going to Mandalore immediately.
If I were writing this season, I would have him go to Mandalore, try to go to Mandalore, fail, and then have to go and gather his companions on the Ebon Hawk to go and do it the right way.
Well, it's true because I thought he needed the IG unit to go to Mandalore, and clearly he's not going to have it this episode. So he's missing one thing.
He's going to Tatooine next, and he's going to ask Peli to ask the Jawas if they have anything.
Yay, back to Tatooine.
You'll take BD. Maybe it's like the BD unit with them.
They're going to find a memory core, and it's going to turn out to be an HK units.
Oh my gosh.
I would be so happy.
Why are you giving her these theories?
Why are we doing this, Din Djarin? Statement. This place is terrible.
Nikki's enthusiastic. Back to Tatooine.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, so what we've seen in the trailers that we haven't seen so far. Well, we saw fucking the Dome Cities of Mandalore in grasslands. I'm pretty sure.
We're gonna flashback at some point.
Yeah, that's definitely a flashback.
Very exciting.
Bo has been misled. And the armorer is a fucking liar.
Could be why she is.
And it looks like that now?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know about that. We've seen it in live action for this season where it still looks pretty terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like in the trailers.
I think it's
more than one. It's a whole planet. Like it's entirely.
No, Steve. There can only be one biome per planet.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay?
That's
one biome, one situation. That's how Star Wars.
We don't make the rules. That's just what they are. Okay? That's just how it is.
All these planets, very small habitable zones.
I mean, even in Rebels, it didn't look like that. It was no grass.
It was weird. It was like deserty looking.
Well, right, because it was just wasteland. It was domes with wasteland. No fucking grass. Was there grass in Clone Wars?
No, it was also still desert.
So man, like how that would have to be like when Bo was a kid or before that. Like
before that.
That would be like way before that. Crazy.
I think there's a point in one of the trailers where there's something that looks an awful lot like it could be Coruscant.
Oh yeah, no, Coruscant's in this season. Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah.
Which cool that we're going to Coruscant. I'd like to go to Nar Shaddaa.
Oh, me too.
It would make so much sense.
I know, we've been wanting that
we
for
already
a while.
got Space Vegas. Steve, Space Vegas is in your picture right now. That's as close as you're getting.
I would like to go to Nar Shaddaa.
Man, you know what was at Nar Shaddaa this week? Star Trek Picard, which is so weird. But anyway, they definitely went there. We also didn't talk about something in this episode at all. You completely missed this part of your recap, Joe. Are we not going to talk about Swamp Thing, the pirate captain?
Oh, we didn't. I didn't talk about. Oh yeah, I missed that in my recap.
Yeah.
Before he goes to Bo-Katan, when he leaves Navarro, he
gorilla.
runs into the same pirate that they let run away, which is incredibly smart. And he now has like a bunch of buddies with him and ships, and Din absolutely smokes all of them.
Oh man, it was great though.
One absolutely smokes them. Meanwhile, the funniest part of that whole scene is when he's about to start smoking them, Grogu climbs under his belt like a seatbelt, like his ammo belt, like a seatbelt, and I was like, "That's amazing! I love that."
Very cute.
Yes, and then he runs into their big ship, which is their like Captain Pirate's ship, and that guy, I thought he looked cool. A lot of people are hating this week.
I thought he looked cool.
He does look like Swamp Thing mixed with old Greg, like he does. I'll give you that. But I thought he looked pretty cool. Like, let's get weird, man. I like weird Star Wars.
I need to see it more. Like, it was so quick. He wasn't on screen really long enough. I need to see it again.
Oh, he's coming back.
I mean,
saw,
yes, that is how plot works.
Yeah.
Someone posted a picture of him, and then like the sweating guy meme, and it was like Hasbro trying to make a figure.
Well, and we did see in the trailer that came out a bunch of Mandos on Navarro. And I'm like, all right, so what happens? The pirates decide, well, fuck this, we're gonna take Navarro. So Din calls in all the Mandos to take back Navarro. So
all this because their bar is a school now. Like, it's really.
Listen, pirates have priorities. Okay?
Yeah, they're not about that school life.
Are we gonna see the pirate we all want to see?
No.
They say the word pirate in Star Wars, that you immediately know we're not going to see Hondo because he's a completely legitimate trading company now.
No,
these are bad pirates, okay? We don't need Mandos hunting Hondo or not.
But he said, listen, he told Grogu, you never trust a pirate. He also said we shouldn't ever trust droids either. And look how he turned on that. Which pirate would he turn to trust?
I already, just based on how short this episode is and how much they tried to squeeze in this episode, I am worried that if they introduce Hondo, there just won't be time to do him justice.
That's also true. But if they do introduce him, I guarantee it's more of an introduction for Ahsoka, where he probably is playing a bigger role.
I just want him in live action.
He's got
the animatronic is so good. I just saw it this week.
And I want Bane back.
Bane was really cool. I mean, you're gonna get him back. I'm pretty sure.
Bane, Cad
Bane.
Oh, Cad Bane. Yes.
Yeah, not.
Oh, I don't know about him. I don't know.
No,
he's not dead. He'll come back.
He's coming back as a cool cyborg.
That's right. I think so.
I would just like to say Vane, not Bane, Vane. Just his overall design. I'm living for it. Everything about those pirates looked pirate but Star Wars.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it was fucking perfection.
I loved it. It looked so good.
Cool.
And they were
everything
all
except for the Trandoshan, which they cannot get right. I don't know why they make Trandoshans look so weird.
Well, because they always looked weird. They always looked weird, except for the second.
Looks incredible. Come on, that was 50 freaking years ago. Bosk looks awesome. These new Trandoshans look like those fake alien things from the TVA.
I feel like the Trandoshans look too much like the animated Trandoshans is the issue. They look like Sid.
Yeah, like more squat with eyes further apart.
The Trandoshan masks.
You know, the Trandoshans I thought looked the coolest were the ones for the second episode of the first season. They
look different than
They look realistic though. You know, and it took a while for me to get used to it. Yeah.
I feel like this piratey one wasn't terrible, but also we see him really quick.
Yeah, and he does.
Like
he jumped out to me. I think it was just because I paused it and was like, wow, look at all these pirates, like all these different species.
There
and
was
I was
one that looked like a warthog.
Look how bad that Trandoshan looks.
Did you see that?
That was
guy?
like my takeaway, other than how cool Vane looked and like their outfits were great.
Did you see the one that looked literally like a warthog? Because I've never seen one like that before either. I was like, what the fuck is that? So
yeah, and then there's different ones too in the flying scene when they're chasing Din, and one of them is me and Steve talked about this. I think he's like the same thing that Masameda is, but his little horn things in the front are very short. Like he must be younger.
Oh,
Would you say it again?
He's younger.
Chagrian.
I think that's what he was, but
oh yeah.
I think the one you said looks like a warthog is a Platoonian, which are the people who were attacking the shrimp.
No, really?
No, those are the dog people.
Yeah, those are the people. No, this one looked like a warthog though.
Yeah, straight warthog.
Straight up.
I must have missed that guy.
This was next to the pirate.
He was so yeah. He was. It was a very quick blink and you miss it. Fucking shot. It's like
Mr. Seaweed Pirate Captain. I feel like they were going for Davy Jones and somehow went past there, and I don't necessarily hate it. But also it was fucking weird.
Yeah. It was just very jarring because we've never seen anything like that yet.
It doesn't look very Swarzy to me. It looks more like Farscape.
That's also true. I feel like it's because it's brand new. If we had seen something like that in Clone Wars at some point or something like that, but it's just very different than anything.
You ever had a space beer out of a shoe?
What you doing in my water?
Oh, so real fast, I want to talk about the title of this episode, even though Joe hates the word apostate.
It's just in this scenario. It's the way that they use it. Like, Game's like, I took off my helmet and now I'm an apostate. And I'm like, nobody talks like this, bud. Nobody.
I don't think it's him.
Cults do.
I don't think it's him. I don't think he's the apostate. Because apostates aren't believers anymore. Okay? Basically, I think it's Bo. I think she's the apostate. She has lost faith in everything. She's dejected. She's fucking chilling in her castle. Right?
Right,
oh, we didn't talk about... How did we miss that? Holy shit. But anyway, hold on. We'll
it's
get
my
back
recap.
real fast.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm washed up on my recap skills. All right?
I put him on the spot, too. But yeah, I think she's the apostate because she's basically given up. So she's the apostate, they mean in the episode. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. I also think the tragedy, the episode where Boba Fett comes back, I think that, and Grogu gets kidnapped, I think the tragedy is when the Razor Crest gets destroyed. That's why they named it that. But anyway, no. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I feel like you just feel like that's the biggest tragedy that happened in that season.
It is!
I mean, you know they're getting Grogu back, so that is the biggest tragedy.
It was.
But then we got the coolest hot rod in the galaxy because of it, so.
I still miss the Razor Crest.
I still miss the Razor Crest.
I
do too.
Vehicle. I hope we get something like that back. But yeah, the fucking...
also lost his pulse rifle.
That's true. See, to me, those were the tragedies.
Tragic.
All right, we missed it. When he was in hyperspace, we saw fucking live action Purgles.
Space whales.
Purgles, my grrr.
Oh wait, they have names that's not space whale?
Purgle.
Purgle, yeah.
Okay. They're space whales.
Weird. Purgle, Purgle, I don't know.
Well, they're Purgles and Ultra Purgles.
Hey,
there
speaking...
are Ultra Purgles?
Those are the big ones. Those are the really big ones.
Stacey looks so happy to share that fact.
It sounds like something in a video game.
If it's Star Wars creatures, that's my shit. I love those things. You know?
Like you have to fight a Purgle and then you kill it, and then it's like Ultra Purgle. Like,
you know.
Mom. What are the owl things that are always around Ahsoka?
The convors.
Did you see a convor on IG-11? Because there's something that looks very similar to one.
Yes, I thought I did.
All right, I'm glad it's not just me.
I pointed it out to my husband. I was like, was that a convor? But you didn't get a really good look at it.
No.
Like it had a tail, but not as long. It could have been a young one. I don't know, but yeah.
But also, like, I feel like they very well could have just the translation, the live action, shorter tail.
That's true, because we didn't really get a good look at the only one we've seen in live action so far, which was the one in the Ahsoka episode. Because it was up on a tree. So basically you really only got a glimpse of it really quick. And it turned its head and looked at the camera. And that's how you knew it was one. And they made it look like so much like a barn owl in the face. So I was really appreciative of that. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of those soon enough. If not in this show, but definitely in Ahsoka. So woohoo! But yeah, the Space Wolves are fucking awesome. They're definitely dropping hints. And
Ezra and Thrawn.
Yep.
I'm not gonna get to see him this season, I don't think. But
excited to be getting there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's building.
It's
building.
I don't want to be like a downer, but this episode did not leave me very excited. It just felt like
it's still a pacing issue, really. It's not a storytelling issue.
It was a setup. It was like setting the table for what's to come. So you're still hungry.
I feel like it's not just a pacing issue. I think it's a story issue in the sense that and I feel like I've been saying this, structure issue. There's no real flow to it. And that's kind of been an issue with all of the Star Wars shows, I feel. Like, they just don't have, like, there's something is getting mixed with, it's not a movie, but it's not a show, but it's not like a mini series. It's missing that episodic flow. Like, each episode should be a beginning, middle, end, even if that end is like getting you ready for the next beginning.
So I feel like part of it is Mando is very monster of the week. to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we had that at the beginning where it was very like,
yeah,
this, and
and
then
I
people
love
were like
that.
people I know, but then people complained about it. They're like, oh, it's like side quest of the week show, or like Flash Gordon where he has like one thing and he does it, and then the next week's
It's
like
supposed to be
people
Flash
were like,
Gordon.
I know exactly. That's what George Lucas wanted Star Wars to be, was Flash Gordon.
Weird.
No, you're right, and it was just weird that people were like hated that part of it at the beginning. Not everybody, but I just remember it being a thing, you know.
I think
there's gotta. Go ahead.
I was just like, I think they just suffered from, unfortunately, having to recap and do all this stuff. Like, I feel like they set out and they say, we're going to make 5.5 hours of content total. And then they figure out how they're going to split it up, where the episodes end and where they start. And I don't think that's necessarily planned as he's writing it. I think they just kind of plan it out when they start dividing episodes out, right?
Well, that's a terrible way to do that.
Well, no, but that's TV. They write the story, and then they have to go, okay, it's for TV. We have to cut it up. So how are we going to cut it up?
Right,
Yeah.
but they write the overarching story, and normally then they write the plots for the individual episodes, and they know where it's going to end.
I have a feeling
Like,
that he
if
just writes it.
Supernatural can pull off Monster of the Week and overarching story for 20 years, 15? Way too long.
20 fucking seasons or something, though. Like, something ridiculous like that.
Then I have faith that Star Wars, Lucasfilms, Disney can too.
Well,
we see it. It's like Marvel does it.
Their Monster of the Week was the Space Gator turtle this week. We'll get another one next week. I think it's just little nuggets, though. It's not full on. So my husband as a writer has taught me about this. A plot, B plot. That's how.
It doesn't even feel like that very much, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. It
there was
doesn't
no
really
real
have
through
that
line through the episode, and
the
that's my biggest problem.
The best explanation I saw was this episode was housekeeping. Like they
Yeah.
had to housekeep to get this cleaned up and ready for what's next. But which kind of sucks when you only have 8 episodes and this is one of them. But it was like I liked the stuff that happened in it, but at the same time, and like the stuff that they like. One of the complaints about Andor, which I have a ton, but most people don't apparently, is they didn't have any fucking aliens, and Mando was like, "Here you go,
Yeah. All the fucking aliens. Here's
the
fucking
aliens.
new one.
Here's the creatures. Here's new ships. Like, yeah, they gave us all of it. So
and standing by it felt like a trailer. It felt like a, hey guys, this is what's coming.
Yep. Oh, and that's what it was.
Get ready for these plot lines.
It was a short introduction, and if it was longer, maybe it would felt more substantive.
I feel like if that lack of a through line wouldn't have been helped by it being longer.
Well, if they added on something that was more substantive to it, like if it ended where you felt more like holy shit, right? It didn't end on a holy shit note. It ended on okay, that was good. Kind of like we saw all this shit, we liked all that shit, cool, right? But nothing like so.
Also, not nearly as bad as our reaction to the Boba Fett premiere, where we were like,
that was.
We were we were all dejected.
We were like, all right,
we were all Bo-Katan. We were
doing the thing we were waiting to see, like, did they like? Is it just me? It's not just me, right?
No.
Like,
wait, we were like, that was it. That was the whole fucking.
Okay.
Damn you, Boba, for ruining fucking Team No Sleep forever. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to next week's one. I heard with the no
tomorrow.
Well, yes,
tomorrow,
that's right, tomorrow. But you know what I mean. No spoiler review because I've avoided fucking spoilers, but I've heard that Bo-Katan is big in this next episode.
Cool.
So,
her,
and she's our queen. So
that's exciting.
They fixed her wig. She looked great.
Yeah, she looked really good. She looked really fucking good.
They fixed it enough that I didn't even notice. You're right. Like that. I mean that in a good way. Like it was just so natural that it was like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope. But cool. Passage of time, her hair's longer. You know, things like that. It's all the little hints all over the place.
What is time in Star Wars?
It's a construct. That doesn't matter because you just walk through the chalk zone and change it anyway.
Ahsoka's going to the chalk zone.
100%.
She's going to the chalk zone to
yeah.
pull out Ben Solo. That's standing by that.
And taking him to the regions unknown or wherever they're setting all their shit up next time.
Seeing as Adam Driver said this week he would like for people to forget that he was in Star Wars, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, it's fine. It's the animated stuff. That's cool. They can recast him.
Yeah, they'll just get D. Bradley Baker to do his voice.
And then 20 years from now, whenever he's bored and wants money and like remembers it more fondly,
when he Harrison Fords it up.
Yeah.
The thing is,
take it after his TV or his movie dad a bit too much.
Like the kids Claire's age are going to feel about it the way we feel about the prequels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually saw somebody on Reddit actually mathematically prove my theory, which is if you ask somebody to rate different aspects of all 3 trilogies and then you averaged those scores together, they would be about the same. And because they gave ratings for each part of the 3 ones, and the OT was a 4 out of 5, and the prequels and the sequel trilogies were about a 3.5 out of 5, and that was just with them doing random numbers. So that's my theory. My theory is if you average the score, most people would have them kind of the same.
I mean, the prequels though had a cohesive story to it.
They did, but they had terrible dialogue.
It's true. I mean,
and
this one had mostly better dialogue, but there were some bad points. It
will certainly be looked upon more fondly by the age group, age group for sure.
I mean, Ray and Finn and Poe, I'm sure they would come back and do stuff.
I don't know. I guess it's not really a Skywalker saga like those 3. I mean, it kind of is, but is it really?
They tried.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of its biggest issues in comparison to the other trilogies.
They're leaving all that shit behind. They're going to the unknown regions or whatever they fucking rename that shit. They hinted that's where all the fucking Mandalorians were during the movies, and that's why we never saw them. This is on the press.
To be fair, I want them to continue that story. Like, give me the Rey, Grogu, Gungi, Finn training group. Like, I'm about that. Like,
they need to get Finn trained.
I like Rey a lot.
They did him so
like
dirty.
I think they kind of ruined the Ben Solo thing, so I just don't feel very optimistic about that. But I like Rey. Like, I'm down for more Rey, and I think Daisy Ridley is also down for more.
Yeah, that poor thing hasn't been able to get more jobs. But yeah,
I don't know why. She's a good actress.
Star Wars divisiveness can hurt your fucking career image, unfortunately, which is sad. She didn't deserve that, but there we are. But yeah, the upside and downside of Dave and John doing all this press junkets the last couple weeks is they've let a lot of things slip, probably on accident. When Dave talked about the unknown regions, basically, and there's a reason why we didn't see all these fucking characters in the sequel trilogy and this and that. So we'll see how it all ties up one day. But I think it'll all tie back together in time for them to figure out what the fuck this movie's supposed to be, which we'll find out soon. All right. Well, what do we got for next? Predictions for next week. We kind of been shooting them out as we've been going.
They're going to pick one of the 4 plot threads and follow it.
But which one? Which one? Let's take some bets.
Are they, or are we just gonna get 5 minutes of each one again?
They're gonna drop all 4 of them and just introduce a 5th plot thread.
Yeah, he's gonna go see Pelimoto and Boba Fett. That's what's gonna happen.
I think he might try to go to Mandalore. I think that might happen this week.
I'd rather see that.
I think it's gonna happen. I don't think he's ready for it. It's definitely not the last time we'll see Mandalore, but I think you might be right that Bo just follows him out there. That's a good theory.
Yeah.
That she decides, maybe I should go see what he's fucking doing. Maybe she's thinking about murdering him. Maybe she's
she's gonna follow him and try and fight him.
Maybe then she decides not to, though.
Time.
Or hope that he gets killed, and then she can just claim the Darksaber.
That's my 2 theories. One, We go back to Tatooine. Like, why does everyone go?
It's always a good bet.
Back?
We have to go back to Jakku.
And that's how he's gonna set Cobb Vanth up as the Marshal of Navarro.
Man, you think you can get him off of fucking Tatooine? I don't know.
Yeah, he needs sand.
He needs sand?
He does.
That'd be a great place for him to go, but I don't know if he would go there. I don't know.
Like, Timothy Oliphant just needs to walk around in the desert on the sand and everything he's in. Like, that's just his vibe. If they got sand on Navarro,
hey,
maybe
Deadwood had no sand.
I think they have black sand on Navarro.
Yeah, like
well, it is a lava planet, yeah.
So that, or I think we might get a Bo flashback episode.
The whole episode?
I don't think that's going to be this one. I think that's going to be episode 6.
Because Bryce Dallas
I was
Howard
going to say, which one is she directing? That would make sense.
Also, I did just look it up. Apparently, following the devastation of Mandalore, there were still grasslands on Mandalore, canon. But they were destroyed in subsequent wars.
Okay. We just never saw them, I guess. I mean, it makes sense for them to still exist somewhere.
One of our friends had a interesting theory, is that some of those flashbacks that they could be showing, like the Jedi Temple one, or like the Grassland ones plays in, where they could be putting the Fang Fighter in the trailer and then swapping it for another ship, that they could show Tar Vizsla, like the Mando's reclaiming the Darksaber from the Jedi Temple that had been left there by Tar Vizsla.
That'd be cool.
Oh.
Instead of like Order 66 for the 15th
okay.
time, which is what it's gonna be.
Yes.
But like it was an interesting theory, like that it could be that instead of Order 66 again.
Would they go that far back? I mean, that would be interesting.
It would be really like that was my thing when I was like, the Jedi in the trailer that are like defending that door don't look like a really older era, you know? But
I mean,
I don't know.
If it was hold on though, if it was the Old Republic, they did look like that.
I mean, in the High Republic, they don't.
No,
but the Old Republic.
The High Republic was only 80 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. but then they decided that fashion wasn't that great, and they decided to go back.
Which is a damn shame because they were wrong.
But the High Republic robes, I mean, or the Old Republic stuff, I mean, at least like the video games, a lot of it just looks the same. It's
a fun theory. It's almost 99% wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Order 66 again.
And like if you wanted to show Mandalore with grasslands, like that era, you could show it, you know.
And apparently,
they could have just swapped the ship for the trailer.
Like Mandalore's destruction was many, 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 many years ago. Like it wasn't recent memory.
I mean, but they had a lot of destruction. They had so many civil wars.
Yeah, it's been destroyed like.
Yeah, like
10 times over.
I mean the shit that turned it into a desert.
But before Clone Wars and Rebels?
Yeah, like it was early history is the way it's listed on its wiki entry.
I thought...
So either they've retconned some of that.
Because I thought it was the war that made the new Mandalorians in charge. The pacifists.
That is a civil war that happened right before the Clone Wars.
Right, and I thought that's what got rid of all the grass.
It was before that.
Oh.
At least according to what I was just reading.
Okay.
But also, retconning on Mandalore? Never.
Nobody's seen more retcons than fucking Mandalore, so... That's true. But I don't know if Dave would retcon himself. I mean,
he has before. It's not. Yeah.
I think he would if he thought it was a good story reason.
Yeah, and like it could always. It doesn't even have to be a retcon. It can always be like, there's still grasslands on this side of the planet that you never saw.
Small part of the town, yeah. Can you imagine how heartbreaking it would be to see a flashback of Satine and Bo as kids?
Oh my gosh! Even as like young adults, like
gonna get a weird flashback of Satine and Obi-Wan
mad at each other. Oh my gosh! It makes sense visually, though, to show the grasslands, like to show the audience that this is a flashback. Like, so I absolutely could see them, like, not retconning, but like kind of stretching. Like, hey, there was some grass in these areas still.
Where is Corky?
Yeah, I need to know. Where the fuck is that bastard kid?
I mean, Tatooine's a good bet, right, Nikki?
We'll find out. We'll find out. I need to get the fucking whiteboard out here so I can
Oh my gosh.
make our fucking
Her theory board.
our theory board. See what comes up and what doesn't.
The last time you got that thing out, that episode was absolute chaos. That episode of the podcast.
And it will be again. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for to me it's going to be at 6 a.m. because that's when I get to watch episodes.
Probably me too.
Yeah.
Our agreement is that if Evie wakes up at or past 3 a.m. and won't go back to sleep, we're just watching The Mandalorian.
That is a good thing to do. Yeah. Yeah.
I set my alarm last week for 3, and then I laughed when it went off, and I went back to sleep. So I failed Team No Sleep last week. I got up at 6, which is still not a normal Joe thing to do, and I got up at 6, and then the kids got up too and watched it with me, so that was cool.
Never going to forget the day that Joe went, Steve, he's not going to be here at 6 like he said he would. Pulled into that man's driveway at 5:50.
What was that for?
We were going to Georgia.
Oh yeah, the concert. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what's gonna fucking happen. I'm excited for it. So we'll I think we're gonna try to do this on Mondays instead of Tuesdays, but this week was a bit.
Decided that I'm throwing out my list of tells on himself that I compiled over our break, and I'm just gonna come up with new ones. But
is it too late?
I have one. No,
Okay.
I have one if
Okay.
you'd like to hear it.
Yes.
It's not. It's borderline tells on myself, but it's more like you're being weird. Knock it off, okay? But if you're wearing prisoner outfits from Andor to conventions, you're telling on yourself.
I mean,
Why do you want to be a prisoner in a jumpsuit? Why?
I mean,
There's
why?
so many costumes you could be from Andor. Why do you want to be a prisoner in a
It's
jumpsuit?
easy.
You're telling on yourself.
Well, it's easy. I mean, why does anybody be Wilbur Hood? Like, why? Like, why?
Because it's funny.
For the meme.
Okay.
Being a prisoner from Andor is not funny.
No. Did you guys ever finish Andor
Nope.
yet? Oh.
They didn't.
Listen, it
They
took
know
6
there's a prison, so
episodes
I didn't spoil
before
it.
I got to the good
But-
part, apparently.
It is. You stopped right when that shit finally gets good. As far as
Eventually
I'm
we'll
concerned.
get around to it. We
Okay.
still haven't finished What If either. We have 1 episode left.
Last episode. Just didn't watch the finale.
ADHD?
We are watching The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, though.
Those were words.
Some super weep
Yep.
shit.
I believe you. I believe you. What if they jumped into the con pool except for one?
Oh, I mean, Stacy's not watching, but The Last of Us is so good.
It's
Yeah.
so
I don't
good.
watch that.
It is really good.
No,
That's fair.
zombies. Sorry.
I mean,
You guys
to be
could
fair,
talk about it.
The zombies have not really been in it even. Like, just every now and then they pop up going like, hey, it's a zombie apocalypse.
I think that's the problem, though, is that the whole apocalyptic scenario with some kind of monstrous cause is what does it for me. So the whole scenario of it, living through it, nightmares. Just nightmares.
Human Grogu turned a cannibal's face into taco meat this week. It was crazy.
That is
Human Grogu. Yeah,
an
that's what I called
explanation.
Ellie.
Wait, she
It's
turned it into
accurate-
taco
No,
meat.
she turned a cannibal's face into taco meat. That's
Did
what
she,
happened.
did she eat it
With a
like a
cleaver.
taco?
No.
No, thank
No,
God.
she
Oh.
just smashed
No, he
it.
was the cannibal, not her.
Well, I was just what? Okay.
So, do you remember that hobo who killed that guy who ran the dude over with his car back in like 2008? He was just some homeless dude who had a hatchet.
No.
Yes. Yes, there's a documentary about him.
Yeah, that's kind
The
of what it
smash,
was. Like
smash,
smash,
some
smash,
mash.
Oh.
smash.
Oh, that guy.
Yes. Then he was arrested later on for killing someone else. It
He
turns
claims it
out
was
the guy he
self-defense
smashed in
and
the
he was
car.
being raped.
There's a whole mess. I watched half the documentary. It was something.
And on that note,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back
Didn't have a
be back next week.
next week.
Yeah.
yes.
Next week,
All
and
right.
and you know, it's still a good time to be a Star Wars fan right now. Very good time. Hopefully we get some more good news soon, but that's it.
Delta Squad, let's go.
All right, until next time.